So in the next few lectures, I will be taking some sums on ideal cycle, which will include Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and dual cycle. So first I will be looking at an Otto cycle question. As you can see in this question itself, this is an Otto cycle engine. They have given us the clearance volume of 250 cc. Cc is cubic centimeter, so it is same as centimeter cube. The compression ratio has been given as 8. The ratio of pressure rise at constant volume, that is when heat is being added to the Otto cycle. So from 2 to 3. So they have given us the pressure rise. So they have given us P3 upon P2, which is 4. And the initial pressure, that is P1, is 1 bar. We have to find out the amount of work done per cycle and the theoretical mean effective pressure. They have given gamma as its regular value 1.4.
So I will start off by writing the given data. After writing the given data, I will write what are the things that we have to find. After this, as this is an Otto cycle sum, we have to draw the PV diagram of the Otto cycle. Because this is the first sum, I will be explaining the drawing process in detail. From next sum onwards, I will take it faster. So I have drawn the P versus V graph. So in Otto cycle, the heat addition and heat rejection both take place at constant volume, which is also known as isochoric. So remember, if it is a heat engine, the amount of heat added will always be greater than the amount of heat rejected. So you have to draw a longer line for heat addition and a shorter line for heat rejection, and then join it by two isentropic processes, also known as adiabatic processes. Okay, so this becomes 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Now you may remember that 1 to 2 is your compression stroke. Okay, so how does compression take place in your piston cylinder arrangement? This is your piston. Okay, this is start of compression, this is end of compression. Okay, at the start of compression, the piston is right at the bottom dead center. The piston is right at the bottom dead center. At the end of the compression stroke, the piston is at the top dead center. This is your top dead center, this is your bottom dead center. So this much volume, let's say this is the BDC over here. So this much volume is known as the swept volume. And this volume above the bottom dead center, that is known as the clearance volume. So at the beginning of compression, the total volume is what? Vs plus Vc. This is the total volume, which is Vs plus Vc. And at the end of compression, the volume is only Vc. So from using this logic, we can say that this volume is Vc and this volume, the volume traveled, is what? Vs. See, this is a very important point which you must keep in mind. Okay, this small part is Vc, V2 is Vc, and V1 is what? Vs plus Vc. Okay, I will write it over here. Remember, this is very important. V2 is Vc, V1 is Vs plus Vc. So with this in mind, we will start our next step. In step 4, we start finding out all the important points values. That is, in this case, we will find the pressure and volume at all these 4 points, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the initial pressure P1 is already given to us, which is what? 1 bar. We do not know what is V1 right now. Okay, then we have been given Vc. See, we have been given Vc, and Vc is what? Vc is same as V2. So we know the value of V2. V2 is given as what? 250 centimeter cube, which is 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. Okay, And what have they given us? They have given us the compression ratio. What is the formula for compression ratio? Compression ratio is defined as volume at BDC divided by volume at TDC. What is volume at BDC? When the piston is at BDC, volume is what? Vs plus Vc. Vs plus Vc. And when the piston is at TDC, what is the volume? It is only Vc. So this is your compression ratio. What is the compression ratio? 8. So 8 is equal to Vs plus Vc, which is what? 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, taking it over here, we get 8 into 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to Vs plus 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3. Taking it over here, we get 8 minus 1 times 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to Vs. So Vs becomes 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. This is my Vs. Now what do we know about V1? V1 is Vs plus Vc. So V1 is Vs plus Vc is equal to 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3, which comes out to be 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. So we know V1. What do we have to find? P2. So how are we going to find P2? Well, it is very simple. I won't give you the direct formula. I will explain to you how we get over there. Okay. This 1 to 2 process, it is an isentropic process. So what do we know about isentropic process? We know that PV raised to gamma is what? Constant. So using this logic, we can write P1, V1 raised to gamma is P2, V2 raised to gamma. Now what do we have to find out? We have to find P2. So P2, taking V2 raised to gamma on this side, we get P1 into V1 upon V2 raised to gamma. Okay. And what is V1 upon V2? V1 upon V2 is your compression ratio. Okay. Vs plus Vc is V1 and Vc is V2. So we get P2 is equal to P1 into R raised to gamma. What is the value of P1? 1 bar. What is the value of R? R is your compression ratio, 8. What is the value of gamma? 1.4. So what will be the value of P2? 1 into 8 raised to 1.4. So 8 raised to 1.4 is what? 18.38 bar, which is same as 18.38 into 10 raised to 5 pascals. Now that we have found out P1, V1, P2, V2, we have to find out P3 and V3. Now we know V3 is same as V2. So we can write V3 is same as V2 is equal to 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. So now after finding the value of V3, we have to find the value of P3 also. So P3, see it is directly given over here. Ratio of pressure rise is what? P3 upon P2 is given as what? 4. So P3 is what? 4 times P2. And what is the value of P2? 18.38 bar. So P3 becomes 4 into 18.38, which is equal to 73.52 bar. Okay, which will be 73.52 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. So we have found out the value of P3, we have found out the value of V3. Now we have to find out the value of P4 and V4. From this diagram itself, we can see that V4 is same as V1, right? So we know the value of V4. V4 is same as V1, which is equal to what? V1 is given as 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. So V4 also becomes 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube. And now we have to find out the value of P4. Okay, so how can we find out the value of P4? Well, it is very simple. Again, this is an isentropic process. So we know an isentropic process follows which law? PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. So we can use it for this also. P3 V3 raised to gamma is equal to P4 V4 raised to gamma. We know the value of P3. P3 is what? 73.52 bar. Means what? 73.52 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. It doesn't matter if you don't write, because it is going to be written in P3 also, P4 also. It is going to get cut itself. Okay. What is V3? Well, we know V3 is what? 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 is equal to what? P4. P4 is what? That is what we have to find out. And V4 is what? 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. This raised to gamma, this raised to gamma by this formula. So what is P4 equal to? P4 is equal to P3, which is 73.52. I will be ignoring 10 raised to 5 over here. I will get this in bar itself. Okay. So 73.52 into what? 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 whole raised to gamma. Just taking this over here. So I get what? 73.52 into 1 upon 8 raised to gamma, which comes out to be gamma is 1.4. So I get 73.52 divided by 8 raised to 1.4. Sorry. Which comes out to be 4 bar. So I have the value of P4 also. So my step number 4 is completed. I have found out the data at all the 4 points, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next is to solve the actual question. What they have asked us to find out the work done per cycle. Now you should know this by now, that if we have a PV graph, if we have any cycle, not only Otto cycle, diesel cycle, dual cycle, any cycle, the work done in the cycle is given by the area under this graph. Sorry, area under this curve. So how can we find out this area? Well, it is very simple. See, this area is what? I will draw this same over here. I will just draw this part. This 3, 4. This is your 3, 4. Okay. And this is your 1, 2. Okay. Just imagine for now. So if I have to find out this area, what am I going to do? I am going to find out the area under 3, 4. And from that subtract the area under 1, 2. By subtracting this much area, I am going to get only this actual area which is under the curve. Okay, so this is what I am going to do. And now, by now you should know, for an isentropic process, the amount of work done in an isentropic process, let us say 3, 4. The work done in 3, 4 will be what? P3 V3 minus P4 V4 divided by gamma minus 1. This is the work done in 3, 4, process 3, 4. Similarly, for isentropic process 1, 2, work done in process 1, 2 is what? P2 V2 minus P1 V1 upon gamma minus 1. It does not matter the sign. Sign is not important. You can write it anyhow. Order is not important. You can write P2 V2 over here and P1 V1 over here. You just have to remember, whenever volume is decreasing, work done is negative. Whenever volume is increasing, work done is positive. Okay. So using this logic, we are going to use this to find out area under this curve. So work done in the cycle is what? Work done in 3, 4 minus work done in 1, 2. Work done in 3, 4 is what? P3 V3 minus P4 V4 upon gamma minus 1. What is work done in 1, 2? P2 V2 minus P1 V1 divided by gamma minus 1. We can, because the denominator is same, we can write like this. P3 V3 minus P4 V4. Here we have gamma minus 1. Here we have minus P2 V2 and minus minus plus P1 V1. So this is the complete equation that we have. Just substitute the values. What is the value of P3? P3 is 73.52. Okay, this is all in bars. Let us keep this in bar and we will multiply it by 10 raised to 5. Okay, I will multiply all this by 10 raised to 5 so that it is in SI unit. The answer should be in SI units. Okay, so I am converting bar into meter cube over here. Oh, sorry, bar into pascals over here. What is P3? 73.52. What is V3? 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3. What is P4? P4 is what? 4 bar. I have written 10 raised to 5 over here. Okay. What is V4? V4 is 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. Minus what is P2? P2 we have 18.38 bar. What is V2? 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 3. And sorry, I will have to increase this. And what is P1? P1 is 1 bar. 10 raised to 5 is over here. And what is V1? 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. Whole divided by what? Gamma minus 1, which is 1.4 minus 1. 0.4. So what am I going to get over here? 10 raised to 5 into 73.52 into 0.25. Okay, I will multiply 10 raised to 5 because it is in, okay, no problem. I will write it like this only. 1838 minus 0.008. This will be minus comes out to be 4.595 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. Well, I can write this as 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 whole divided by 0.4, and I can write this as 18.38 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, this is what I have written. Okay, so this is going to get what? 10 raised to 5. There is 10 raised to minus 3 everywhere. Take 10 raised to minus 3 over here. 0.4 also common. What am I getting? 18.38 minus 8 minus 4.595 plus 2. So it is what? 18.38 minus 8 minus 4.595 plus 2 divided by 0.4 into 10 raised to 2. 1946.25. Okay, 1946.25. This is what? Work done. So it will be joule. It is work done in one cycle. So its unit will be joule per cycle. This is the amount of work done by this Otto cycle. Okay, in one complete Otto cycle, what is the amount of work done? 1946.25 joules. Now the next thing that we have to find out. So we found out this 1946.25 joules per cycle is over here. So we can write only joule. Next thing we have to find out is what is the mean effective pressure. Well, what is the formula for mean effective pressure? It is very simple. Mean effective pressure is equal to work done divided by swept volume. Work done in one cycle divided by swept volume. What is work done in one cycle? Well, we just found out 1946.25. And what is the swept volume? Well, we have the swept volume over here. We found it out somewhere. Yes, swept volume is what? 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 3. So what is the mean effective pressure? 1946.25 divided by 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 3, which let us take it in bar. So dividing it by 10 raised to 5, we get 11.21 bar, or you can write it as 11.21 into 10 raised to 5 Pascal. Okay, the answers are 11.12, 121, 11.121. So the answers that we have gotten are very close to the actual answers given in the textbook. So this is the first sum on Otto cycle. Thank you.